What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Death of the Asia. Thank y'all so much for joining me this evening. Um, when y'all get in here, go ahead and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to put my logo up here. Hold on, this thing tripping. When y'all get in here, go ahead and like the video. This thing is tripping. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right. So listen, it is my favorite time of the year. It is football season. Preseason has already started. I am so excited about this season. Um, the guys, they still warming up and everything. It's a lot of things that a lot of these different teams have to work on, but we're not gonna get into that just right now. But just watching these preseason games, it's a lot of work that these guys need to do out there. But I'm just very excited about this season. Unfortunately, we're gonna start off this season without Deshaun Watson starting as quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, right? Of course, I'm a cheesehead. I'm a Packers fan. And I gotta give Colin Cowherd a little bit because he always got something to say about Aaron Rodgers. So you better watch it, buddy. Don't be talking about my quarterback. But anyway, so we're gonna start off this season without Deshaun Watson starting as quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I actually like Deshaun Watson as a quarterback. I think he's very talented. I know he had some ups and downs when he was playing with the Texans. And to be perfectly honest with you, I actually feel as though the Texans tried to sabotage Deshaun Watson in so many different ways. But I'm a tie this into the case that he has been dealing with. So if you guys do not know, Deshaun Watson actually was accused of sexual misconduct. Apparently, he was uh, revealing himself to massage therapists. He had 24 different cases of sexual misconduct or sexual assault, however you want to put that. And it wasn't a criminal case. It was actually a civil suit. He settled in some of them. I don't know if he settled in all of them, but he settled in some of the cases. The reason why I wanted to have this conversation because it's parts of his case that I really didn't understand, and I just want to talk this out because there's so many different moving pieces, and I just want to just brainstorm with you guys to kind of put this all into perspective because to my understanding, this is the first time that Roger Goodell has actually allowed an arbitrator to come in and make a decision on a player. So in the case of Deshaun Watson, of course, last season he sat out the whole season. I was under the impression that he was sitting out because of the sexual allegations, but it turns out a lot of it had to do with him asking for a trade. He wanted to leave the Texans and he set out the season. So that had something to do with it. But he didn't play, he didn't touch the ball last season or anything like that. So when the sexual accusations came into play, that's what I thought it was. So when he got suspended, initially, what was the lady name? Sue Robinson. Initially, the lady Sue Robinson actually told him that he had a 6-week suspension, right? So I was taken aback because I actually thought that him sitting out last season had something to do with his cases, but I guess it didn't. So initially he had to sit out six weeks. So then the NFL did an appeal, and there was some negotiations taking place. The NFL did an appeal, and he ended up getting an 11-week suspension on top of a $5 million fine. And I don't remember any player getting fined that much. That's a huge amount of money to be getting fined for. Initially, I don't remember him being fined initially. Initially, it was just a six-week suspension. Now, it raised some people's eyebrows because in this case where he is being accused of sexually assaulting women, they had a woman in order to determine how long his suspension is going to be, whatever his punishment is going to be. So a woman made the decision of a 6-week suspension, right? This is the part that gets me, that I don't really understand how this part works. I don't know the mechanics of it, because it doesn't make, I won't necessarily say I don't understand it, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Because how is it that Roger Goodell relinquishes the power, says, you're going to have somebody else to step in and make the decisions, because as the commissioner, he had the sole authority to make these decisions on the players. But now you have this arbitrator come in, she makes a decision, and then you appeal the decision for more time. I don't get that. I do not get that. To me, it's a fake sense of relinquishing the power. Because at the end of the day, you the judge and jury still at the end of the day. So I don't feel like that was fair. If Deshaun Watson actually did these things, and this is not the conversation we having today, whether he's right or wrong, we're not having that conversation today. But for whatever reason, Sue Robinson, she found him guilty of something. Again, he was not criminally charged, but she felt that it was necessary in order to suspend him for 6 weeks. If you have somebody that come in as an arbitrator and make this decision, then you turn around and appeal the decision. I don't think that is, I really don't think that is right. And I understand that he does have the ability to, Roger Goodell, that's what I'm talking about, the commissioner of the NFL. He does have the power and the ability to appeal the decision, but I think it's a fake system that has been set up to make people feel like this is some type of democracy. It's fake, because it's really not. Because at first I wasn't understanding how. I'm like, dang, I know Deshaun Watson them trying to appeal, then the NFL appealing. So I was like, how did the time go up, and how did he get tacked on this fine? $5 million, that's a whole lot of money. But anyway, so Deshaun Watson is going to be out for 11 weeks. He did a press conference, and he continued to stand on his innocence. It was something in the press conference that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I did not understand this is also. Deshaun Watson apologizes about the situation, but yet he said that he's innocent. And I'm just like the people who was at the press conference asking a question. If you're saying that you're innocent, then why is it that you're apologizing? I don't get that part. I know, to me, if you apologize, then you admitting to guilt. In my opinion, it wasn't until I watched the press conference that I was like, okay, it's something kind of dirty in his milk, because he is apologizing about it. But I guess so. We're not going to see Deshaun Watson for the majority of the season. In my opinion, I feel like, what good is he going to do at this point? He might as well be out for the rest of the season. I know he'll get to recoup some money and everything, but all at the same time, it's just, what impact is he really going to have if he come back after an 11-week suspension? That's just way too long. I know they probably want to just, get him some time on the field to get him prepared for the next season and everything like that, but it just really don't make a whole lot of sense. And that's a part that was kind of iffy to me as well, because don't quote me, but if I'm not mistaken, week 12 is when the Browns are supposed to be playing the Buccaneers. And Tom Brady, the quarterback for the Buccaneers, and it seems like Tom Brady don't want to be associated with that or something, because Deshaun Watson doesn't actually play again until week 13, when they play the Texans. And how ironic is that? The same team that I felt like sabotaged him in a sense is the same team that he gonna see first when he get back on the field. He gonna have to beat the Texans down. You hear me? Um, that's weird. Now, I know some people probably wondering why she keeps saying that the Texans sabotaged Deshaun Watson. The reason why I feel like the Texans sabotaged Deshaun Watson is two different reasons. I honestly feel like those racist Texans did not want a black person to be a black quarterback to be their franchise player. One. Also, if you notice that they never would just put a line around to actually protect Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson used to be out there running for his life. Now he's very athletic. He's reminiscent of a Lamar Jackson or whatever. He's athletic. You know, he could get out of the pocket and he could run the ball and everything. However, the difference between Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson, and the reason why I feel like Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, is because Deshaun Watson has a good arm and he could also run. Lamar Jackson arm is just not that great. And what it is he run the ball a lot because he don't know how to throw. That's how I feel about Lamar Jackson. So a lot of people think he's a good quarterback because of his athleticism. I actually feel that he is more comparable to a runner back. That's how I feel about Lamar Jackson. Has he made some dynamic plays, some very explosive plays? Yes, he has, but all at the same time, when you're putting him up against a quarterback like Deshaun Watson with a good arm and the ability to run the ball, I feel like Deshaun is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. And I just feel like that line that they had for Deshaun Watson was a sabotage. And also, it wasn't until Deshaun Watson started talking about he wanted to be traded that all of these accusations came out. And it's so crazy that it was so many of them at one time. Like all at once, it's 24 accusations that done came out. And it just seemed, I'm going to tell you something. And I ain't trying to take up for the man or anything like that. And I'm usually not one of the people that come up with these different conspiracies or think it's some conspiracy involved, especially when it has something to do with sexual misconduct. But it's real funny that it was that many accusations against him, 24. So if you have such a large number of accusations, most people are going to be like, something got to be true because all of these people coming out, something got to be true. And it's just odd. It's just odd to me. And what he was accused of, it really didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Apparently, he comes in with a smaller towel than what they supposed to use to cover his private area. And so he was pretty much said to be putting on a peep show for these ladies. And I guess once he get an erection or something, they're able to see his penis. But he's a man, so it is possible for a man to have an erection. Now, if he was doing that, he dead ass wrong. You get what I'm saying? He's dead ass wrong, and he was doing that, and I'm not trying to take up for him in that instance. What I am saying is, it's just odd that this came out during the time when he started talking about a trade. That's one of the things that really got me. It was another thing that I wanted to discuss in regards to this too. Oh yeah. I saw this meme, and I don't know how true it was, but it was a meme, and it was Big Ben had said something about the NFL need to do a better job in the Deshaun Watson case, or someone like him doesn't need to be on the field. And if Big Ben didn't say that, cool, because I know people be making up memes. But I do want to talk about the Big Ben situation. Big Ben had 2 accusations of sexual assault. And he was suspended for 6 games. I think Big Ben case was like one of the first instances where a player was charged for something, where the NFL stepped in and penalized the player for something outside of what happened on the field. That's to my recollection, right? So I ain't gonna go too heavy on the differences and what's transpired with Big Ben and what transpired with Deshaun Watson, because even Deshaun Watson case is something that's new to the NFL, with having a third party come in and make that decision, right? So in both of these guys' cases, the process that they had to go through was totally new for the NFL. So I ain't gonna go in too hard, but it's just interesting how, you know, Big Ben come out and say that if he said that, I ain't gonna put no words in this man's mouth. I was scrolling through my social media and I ran across a meme and it said something of that effect. So that's what I'm talking about. I ain't trying to put no jacket on this man back or anything like that. But we're dealing with like new territory, and this is a new thing. It's unfortunate that we don't see Deshaun Watson until later on in the season. Like I said, I don't know how good it's gonna do for the team at that particular point. I know that the Browns were talking about possibly picking up Garoppolo. Um, I don't know if that's still on the table for them to possibly get Garoppolo, or I think they just gonna stick with the guy that they have. Who is their quarterback? Brissett or something like that. I ain't really never paid. I honestly didn't pay attention to the Browns for real until Baker Mayfield had got drafted, and I don't know where he done went to. He was a bust actually, but I don't know where he done went to. I don't know where Baker Mayfield is. But anyway, they got this dude Brissett or whatever his name is, but I never did pay attention to the Browns. Who did? You get what I'm saying? Like, nobody paid attention to the Browns for real. But yeah, we gonna see how this gonna go, how this gonna play out. This preseason it has been very interesting. Who not Deshaun Watson. CD Lamb, he done got hurt. He hurt his toe. I think he just got some stitches. So I don't think it's gonna be anything that's gonna affect him, in the upcoming season. Michael Irvin, he came out and he said that if the Cowboys, what Michael Irvin say? I think he back on this shit. Michael Irvin had said if the Cowboys clean up their penalties, then they'll be chasing the 1974-72 Dolphins or something. I'm like, come on, Michael Irvin, quit playing. Quit playing. This is one thing. Y'all could clean up the Cowboys. Y'all could clean up all the penalties that y'all want to clean up. But who y'all got catching the ball? Who gonna catch the ball? You get what I'm saying? I don't know who y'all gonna get to catch the ball. Antonio Brown said he'll come to the Cowboys. Jerry Jones said he good, love, enjoy. He ain't interested in AB, but I know AB is problematic, but he is very good. And honestly, at this point, they do need some veteran wide receivers. They got rid of Amari Cooper, Dez Bryant gone. Who else they got? But I think Amari Cooper and Dez Bryant, I think they both hurt. I mean, who can they go get at this particular point? What Odell doing? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What they gonna. I don't know what them Cowboys gonna do. But that's a fan base that is just so irritating because they be so delusional. How, to be honest with you, if I was a fan of a team that hadn't did anything in damn near 3 decades, I would definitely jump ship. I would definitely jump ship. It's too many good teams out here that's actually doing something, actually making some noise, actually making it to the playoffs and not getting sent home the first round. You get what I'm saying? There's actually teams out there that you could root for where you could feel like a winner and not a loser all the time. You get what I'm saying? You're never in a run and you're never an actual contender Nobody even thinks about the Cowboys actually being a contender in the Super Bowl. But the fans, they as just delusional as they are, for many, many years. That's what it is. Now, and my daddy, he's a diehard Cowboy fan, right? And so he don't like the fact that I'm a Packers fan, but it is what it is. He's a diehard Cowboys fan, and he actually betted me one time that he was going to give me one. He has a Tony Dorsett jersey. Now I take that, you know what I'm saying? I take the jersey. It was once upon a time when I actually did like the Cowboys, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not a thing with me where I don't like the actual Cowboys, because when I play fantasy, I always pick Zeke up as my running back in fantasy. But at this particular point, these last 2 seasons, Zeke, he hasn't been any good. I am not picking Zeke as my running back. He always disappoint me at the end of the day. I am not picking him. If he's out there, he gonna sit out there. He probably be somebody good to pick up and have on the bench or whatnot, but he would definitely not be my starting quarterback, as he has been in the past. I root for Dak because of, after he had broke his leg up like that, I was just wanting to see him get back out there, get on that field and play the game that he loved. I'm not interested in seeing those players get hurt, regardless of how much I don't like a particular team's fan base. I'm not interested in celebrating people's injuries. So I did not like that Dak was hurt. I like that he got back out there, and he seemed to be he seemed to be a whole lot better when he did. So as far as the Cowboys, the team itself, I have no qualms with the actual team. It's the fan base that bothers me. It's the delusion for me. That's the part that I actually have a problem with. But other than that, those are the games that I look at. I live in Texas, so um, you go and get flooded with the Cowboy games. If they might be playing another game somewhere else, they're gonna always be playing the Cowboys games here. It is America's team, I guess. I don't know why the Patriots not considered the America's team, being that they called the Patriots and they got the flag colors, but I guess I digress on that. But yeah, other than that, um it seemed like the season gonna be pretty good. A lot of different players have moved around. I hate that we lost Adams. Uh, I'm gonna be looking at those Raiders games. I never really paid attention to Raiders games that much, but I am going to be looking at Raiders games just to see what it is that uh, Adams is doing. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. At first, I didn't think that it was a great decision for us to let Adams go because of how Rodgers was acting at first. And I'm like, you know what? We got some pretty good personnel. Rodgers is like the best quarterback ever. I love me some Rodgers. Rodgers is a really, really good quarterback. I could depend on him. Um I don't be scared when we only have a little bit of time left on the clock. He could get the job done. However, when I first heard about Adams leaving, I was heartbroken. But then I thought about it. I said, you know what? I remember when Adams was out with that foot injury and he was out for a while, and it forced Aaron Rodgers to move the ball around and get other players involved. Whereas when Adams is out there, he's trying to target Adams a lot of times when other people will be wide open. And so the plays will come predictable where the defense will know, hey, we need to try and guard Adams or whatnot. You get what I'm saying? So I think that it will shake up the defense. It will, make the game a little bit less predictable, and it will get other players involved as well. And I think it will help a whole lot in fantasy where some of the players that you may have chose where wasn't getting so many yards because Adams was out there. I think it'll help out with that also. But I'm not as worried as I was at first because I had to remember that point in time where Adams was out and we were able to get the job done. And honestly, we didn't start losing until Adams came back for that same reason that I said that Rodgers was just targeting Adams all the time. And some of those targets were very unnecessary when you see other people, they just be wide open or whatnot. Um, uh, MVS, he went to, where he go to? He gone. I don't know where he went to. But anyway, that's that. I'm finna get all off subject and get to talking about my Packers. All the Packers out there, give me a go pack go in the comment section. I thank y'all for tuning in with me tonight. We just gonna keep watch on this Deshaun Watson story as it develops. I hope this is the end of it. I hope it ain't no more stuff that's gonna come out, no new allegations or anything like that. I hope this is just what it is, and we don't have to hear about this anymore. I hate that he put himself in that position, but if he did that to these ladies, he do need to be penalized for it. I even though he needs to be penalized for it, I am gonna go on record that I don't like how it was done. I don't like this system. I don't like how the system is set up, because at the end of the day, it's a fake sense of democracy. At the end of the day, where you make it seem like you're not the person that make the sole decision, but essentially you really are. You know, so Roger Goodell, he played us with that one. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to the Hip Hop School Past and Present podcast. I'm on there every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, along with my other three hosts, Heezy, Supreme Ra, and Brother Truth. It's a really, really dope podcast if you are a fan of hip hop. We have some really good topics, really good guests. You will never be bored. It's one of those shows that you just have to watch the whole way through. You damn near just being watch. It's a really, really good show. So I have the link to that show down below in the description box. Click that link, go over there and subscribe to that as well. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And like and share the video as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with me tonight. I'm about to tune out. Y'all have a good one.
I hope you black men were paying attention. I hope you black men were paying attention.